Hey everyone, Travis here on day 2 of the Summer Split, the LCS North American Edition in the year 2014, brought to you by Riot Games. I'm Travis Gafford, doing stuff for On Gamers, and I'm talking to ZionSpartan, who's now part of Dignitas after previously being a part of Coast, and that's the situation right now. Anyway, you guys are now 3-0. That's also the situation, tied with LMQ. Zion, how does it feel to win games?
It's a definite change of pace, and I'm just really proud of how we did that last Cloud9 game, because earlier today we played EG and we threw that game at least 3 times, and not surprisingly once at Baron. And on the other hand, an hour later we play against Cloud9 and we have like an extremely smooth game. We don't throw at Baron, we win the game at Baron, and we just make very few mistakes. And I'm just really proud of how the team's shaping up right now.
Yeah, do you think that each one of these games you guys are just building stronger and stronger and stronger?
I definitely think we're improving with every game, and I think there's a lot of room to grow because we've been a team for a week and a half, and we just demolished Cloud9. I mean, not demolished, but we played really well against them. And if we can do that just a week into the LCS, and we've got 9 weeks left to go, or even more, I think it's 10 more weeks. I think that there's a lot of room for us to grow, and I think it's a really great way to start because morale is high, and it seems like we can only go up from here. I'm basically on Cloud9 right now.
Oh, damn. That just happened. Hey, talk to me about that Cloud9 game. What do you think? I mean, you said you didn't really make that many mistakes. So, what do you think really brought you to the finish line?
I just think the communication was like almost flawless. I think what comes down to good teams is everyone is talking, and there's just a lot of good information coming out and a lot of good calls being made. Not only was there a lot of information, almost every call we had was good. The thing about calls is some calls can be bad, but there also needs to be good people, other calls to be made to call them off, because making aggressive calls is good, but when you have somebody to call them off when they realize it's a bad call is just like perfect. Because like, for example, we went top on Trundle and he was under the inner tower, and we were starting to dive him, and then QtPie's like, just back off, go for the tower. And we, instead of diving him in between 3 towers and possibly throwing the game, we just took a free inner tower off that rotation, and we just kept smoothly sailing along without making any mistakes. And it's keeping that constant communication going throughout the whole game that really won us that game.
I just interviewed Amazing, who told me that he thinks that you, like Dignitas, Cloud9, and LMQ are the big threats right now. Throwing CLG out of the top 4 and positioning you guys there. Do you think that that's a fair statement to make, that right now you're up there with those guys?
I think that's a fair assessment to make. I think CLG is a good team, but the issue with CLG is they haven't had that much time to mesh together. Seraph, while I think he's a good player, he still has a lot he needs to improve on, and he needs to really improve his communication, because that's even more important than how well a top laner individually plays, because that's how you really have an impact on the game as a top laner, I feel.
I know it's early days yet, but do you think that Dignitas could make it to Worlds?
I definitely think that us making it to Worlds is a possibility, and I'm not going to say we're going to make the Worlds for 100%, because I don't want to put one foot forward and act really cocky or confident, but I'm extremely happy with how we're coming along, and I think we have a good shot of making it to Worlds.
How are you guys meshing with the rest of Dig now that you guys have both joined, you and Shifter?
I really like being on the team. I really like the guys on Coast, but we had a lot of other issues. But on Dignitas, we don't really have any of those issues because we just started as a new team, and everyone's really funny and gets along really easily. Cutie Pie, every single word, every time he says a word, it's just funny. It's just the way the guy carries himself. Like, you can't stop yourself from laughing. And when you're having a good time on a team, it's really easy to just get along and focus on winning the game and not worry about the small things or other issues that come up. Kiwi Kid, that guy's hilarious too. Shifter, Crumbs, they're really laid back, nice guys, and it just has a really nice team dynamic where everybody just gets along really well, and I really like it on this team.
Now that you've beat Cloud9, who do you think is your next big opponent? Like, who else would you like to beat now?
I'm really looking forward to playing LMQ. I'm surprised at how well they're playing, but they're playing extremely well. Zhao, Ackerman, Vasily all have been carrying games and playing extremely well, and them as a team, well, they've had some sort of issues. Like, our game against EG was kind of like their game against CLG, where there was a lot of errors in the game, and I think that's one of the big issues that they have. But I think they're kind of playing like we are. They're 3-0 right now. They're on a hot streak, and they're looking really strong. And I think that's going to be a very hype match. So I'm looking forward to it.
Any final words out there to the people who might have followed you over from Coast to Dig, or any of the new or the Dig fans who are looking at you as a new top laner and wondering what to think of you?
I just want to say thank you to all the fans and everyone who believed in the team and all the changes. I know it really sucks when new players come to the team, but sometimes that happens. That's what happens in sports. And I think Cruiser was a great guy. Scar was a great guy, and he understood, hey, I want this team to win. And he himself decided to step down and put Shifter in the position to join the team. And I just want to thank all the fans and friends and family for just supporting me along the way and helping me come to where I am now, because it's been a long journey, at least 2 years long, and I'm hoping I can make it to Worlds this year.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for the interview. Really appreciate it. And it's fun to see Dignitas, the Dig hype train, going through the city. You can check out the rest of our coverage of all things LCS at ongamers.com.